Good evening, Top Gun Options folks. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome aboard a special Sunday night market intel brief. Just things flying by the minute, and I figured I'd knock out another one of these videos. Got a couple emails and folks. Hey, when's Sunday video? Man, I usually don't do these, man. I don't work over the weekends, but these are special circumstances, so I figured I'd hook folks up with at least my take on everything that's going on. I appreciate all the kind comments and texts and emails and everything like that. We did nail this. We've nailed it for 2 months, and we're going to keep nailing it. And I'm really looking forward to the open tomorrow. We're going to mint countless new Top Gun Options millionaires tomorrow morning, in addition to what we've done so far. I've told you, I was in the Chicago Board of Trade and the Chicago Board of Options Exchange when the VIX hit 90 at the height of the financial crisis, and the Fed stepped in to bail out Wall Street and the banks. I said, don't do it. We will live to regret the central bank intervening in capitalism. Things need to be able to fail. Businesses need to fail. This whole the Fed intervention is like the Pope telling Catholics hell doesn't exist, and then Catholics partying their ass off until the Pope comes out and says, "Oh yeah, that was a mistake," and then we're all going to hell. I told you. I said the Fred Sanford. I grew up, and most of you watching this video grew up, watching Sanford and Son. And Fred Sanford, once an episode, would grab his chest and say, "I'm coming, Elizabeth. This is the big one, dummy. Lamont, you big dummy. Get me to a hospital." I said the big one would happen when the central banks, the Fed, jumps in to save capitalism and the market shrugs and ignores it. And tonight was sheer panic out of the Federal Reserve. And I'll brief you on that in a couple minutes. Now, I think I got carpal tunnel syndrome. I just 122 books I signed over the past couple days. Since you're going to be inside for 2 weeks, I'll get to that in a couple minutes. We have a federal quarantine coming up, in my opinion, based on the people I talk to. Why not read my book? Head to go.topgunoptions.com/book, and I'll autograph it. And if the post office stays open tomorrow or the rest of the week, which it most likely will not, since most federal agencies are limiting work, I'll get it in the mail. Or actually, here's how you get a free book. Go over to our Top Gun Options Facebook page /reviews and drop us a review. Got incredible reviews lately. I'm going to ask a favor for all the current folks that went and wrote reviews like last week and the week before on how epic they were doing. Do me a favor and go in here tomorrow and write how epically more you're doing, because the numbers I'm seeing out of folks are going to, I can't even put the math on how they're going to explode tomorrow. So I could not be more happy for Top Gun Options members. I mean, you guys believed in me, and we nailed it. So do me a favor, go drop a review, and I'll send me a screen, or after you drop a review, just shoot me a message here on Top Gun Options Facebook with your address, and I'll drop one in the mail. Otherwise, it's $35, and it'll be the best $35 you spent. Here we go. I don't know where. I do know where to start with this guy. A lot of folks with inverted Trump derangement syndrome. What do I mean by that? So Friday, after market close, people crowing. I actually booted a bunch of quote bros or friends off my Facebook page, like, "Oh, you can't take a little rise in the market. Your bearish positions get hammered. Ha ha whiz." I'm like, you're an idiot. You're retarded. You don't know what a short squeeze is, and that was a short squeeze, folks. I'm not going to, the quick debrief is the guy started the press conference 30 minutes, supposed to be at 3. He came out at 3:30. He vaped for about 30 minutes until he knew the market was going to close. And then he got hammered with questions. Not even 24 hours after that cheerleading session, which was a short squeeze, textbook definition of short squeeze. Even Jim Cramer was like, "Oh my God, that was the biggest short squeeze of all times," and it was stupid. Not even 24 hours later, like that next morning, Pence is on the stage going, "Yeah, we're shutting down England, Great Britain, we're quarantining, you can't get back in America." I'm like, oh my God. They knew all that stuff Friday afternoon, folks. And Trump just wanted to talk the market higher. Did you see that press conference tonight? I'm going to tell you how bad it's going to get. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is a national disgrace. You ready? Yesterday morning, Donald J. Trump President of the United States. Biggest stock market rise in history yesterday. This was yesterday morning he posted this piece of shit tweet. He deleted it. It's gone, folks. So for all my inverted Trump derangement syndrome that the guy can't do any wrong, he deleted this tweet. You know why? Because tomorrow will be the biggest stock market drop in history. And folks, I'm not some dyed-in-the-wool Trump supporter, man. I can't stand hyper-partisans on either side. Democrats and liberals, Obama literally could do nothing wrong, ever. He was like Jesus Christ to them and walked on water. Trump, I'll criticize him when he deserves it. Here's my response to his tweet. Laugh my ass off. My God, man. Remember 3-4 weeks ago when he was in India during the first market implosion? What did the president do? Right there. Stocks look great here. Buy stocks. 1,000 points later, here we are in the S&P. When this market opens tomorrow, this red will be all the way off the scale. This was a short squeeze. The guy started his press conference late, tried to put some good news in the front of it. Shorts got squeezed. Remember, folks, to get out of a short, you have to buy stock. You have to buy those shares back. That's what causes the rise. If you don't know what a short squeeze is and you're not a member, you're an idiot. Seriously, folks. I pointed this out to a ton of people on my social media who were Trump sycophants. I'm like, do you know? And he deleted it. It's a coward move. That's a Bush League move. This man, never in his life, I've never heard the words out of his mouth go, I was wrong. You know what? I got that one wrong. Or that was bad on my part. He deleted it. That will be his George Bush mission accomplished moment. Biggest stock market rise in history yesterday. If you bought stock Friday as the market went up, or ETFs or mutual funds or whatever, thinking that it was all clear and yay, Trump, and you get destroyed tomorrow, who are you going to hold? Who's responsible? Elon Musk, man, remember his famous tweet last year? We're taking it private, funding secured 420. Within 3 seconds, I was laughing. I'm like, 420, that's weed. It's a joke. Squeezed out tons of people, little old ladies in tennis shoes that were short Tesla shares got blown out. The SEC went after Elon Musk. Is the SEC going to go after the president? Enough on that. I'm done with the dude. Although they did learn what? To not let him talk. That press conference tonight, he did a drive-by and left. He is awful answering questions, especially when he's lying. So, Chesty Puller, I've been using his name a lot lately. The battle of the frozen chosen, the chosen reservoir in Korea. Major Puller, or was he Colonel? Colonel Puller, we're surrounded by the Chinese. What are we going to do? That solves the problem of us getting to the son of a bitches and kill them. So we're surrounded. Chaos getting back into the United States. That looks like a COVID-19 hot zone. How stupid can you be? Now, let me step through this. Here's the biggest thing that happened. The Fed cuts rates to 0 essentially, and they're going to do QE5. So if they launched a nuke last week, market folks kept saying, well, the Fed just shot a bazooka. Actually, it was nuke. This was a global thermonuclear missile launch. They were supposed to have a meeting on Wednesday, folks. Today's FOMC emergency meeting is taking the Tuesday, Wednesday one ain't happening. Why? Are they scared of getting together and being in quarantine? So the Fed doing this, folks. Listen. This was the call. I listened to the whole. Listen. You got to go and listen to it, folks. This is not good. Thank God for being honest, Chairman Powell. We don't have the tools to reach individuals or small business. Holy crap. I briefed you last week, ladies and gentlemen, as the president sat there with Wall Street CEOs at the White House around his table. What did they say? Mr. President, we're fine. We're like overcapitalized. We're fantastic. This isn't a financial crisis. This is a pandemic. It's a medical crisis. We're good. So what are we blowing bazookas for, folks? Right now, the Fed's not seeking permission to buy other securities. They have been doing it, I know for a fact. The New York Fed has been buying assets. They've been buying stock. I know it. Broader fiscal stimulus will depend on the path of the economy. Hard to say what will happen, but may need for broader fiscal stimulus. Fiscal policy typically plays a major role in downturns. We're in ongoing contact with major central banks. This is your takeaway, folks. We don't have the tools to reach individuals or small business. So the Fed cutting rates did nothing. The futures right now are limit down. They're limit down, folks. That's it. That's your Fred Sanford moment, ladies and gentlemen. So, and then how about the president during his drive-by of the press conference, the VP's press conference tonight? Oh, investors should love this. This is fantastic. This is super. You're going to get to refinance. You're going to get to refinance what? After this pandemic blows through and kills millions of Americans? The most stable man on that podium to date has been Dr. Anthony Fauci. He said last Tuesday, folks, and I told you to get bearish and sell in any of these pops. If you've listened to me, folks, you're very close to being a millionaire. Nailed every one of these things, every step of the way. Told you to add to your puts. I told you to sell in, meaning sell in any pop. I loaded up on bearish stuff into the close on Friday. As he was talking, I'm like, oh my God, that's a short squeeze. Short squeezes end horribly. I'm glad Goldman Sachs, well, hold on, where's a couple other things? Oh, how about this? So, ladies and gentlemen, Kentucky, the governor of Kentucky, there's a dude who's under armed guard for refusing to self-isolate in Kentucky. So he's under, so here's where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. I showed you 2 months ago videos in China of dudes in biosuits, like throwing people not into an ambulance, into the back of these trucks that were just, they had a big white cube on the back. What the hell was in there? Other people. The videos that came out, the reason it's peaked and leveled off in China is because they've done that. My prediction for the week, ladies and gentlemen, we will have domestic travel bans. You will not be going into major cities. I am hearing from a little birdie that the Senate and the House will close. The governor of Virginia, that racist piece of shit, that KKK wearing, Klan member, said in the state of Virginia, he has banned meetings of over 100 people. Well, in Washington, the District of Columbia, there's 100 U.S. senators, and there's 435, 56, whatever it is, Congress personnel, and all their staffs. The Capitol is going to close. But here's the most disturbing thing, and I joked about this at the beginning, and it's coming back to haunt me. I told you that there might be federal troops on the bridges of New York City. They might shut down the 5 boroughs, and it's like Escape from New York and Snake Plissken. The governor, I reported this yesterday on my Facebook page, first to break it, because I heard from a buddy of mine in the Guard Bureau, Andrew Cuomo, has ordered the New York National Guard to empty out their armories and to put hospital beds in them. Did you see his press conference today? What did he say? We don't have enough hospital beds. We're at 65 to 80% right now with just kind of normal sick people. When we get hit with the wave, which hasn't come yet, So in a op-ed to the New York Times, in a letter to the president, Andrew Cuomo is demanding the United States military get into his state. This piece of shit liberal Democrat just hit the ball back over the net and put it in the president's lap. I'm going to tell you, folks, and again, in my afterburner trading VIP thread, we've been at it all day, folks, and I'm not going to be doing multiple videos of these throughout the day. My afterburner trading folks are the elite, and they get access to me, but I also briefed them that earlier today, a hedge fund buddy of mine, very good friends with a 2, 3 star, whatever star in the New York Police Department. You ready for this? The sanitation union is considering to tell their people to not go into work with a pandemic running around the city. You want to talk about a pandemic? Imagine New York City sidewalks a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without trash being picked up. That's when the U.S. military or the guards coming in, man, to pick up trash, or when the police department gets infected. Andrew Cuomo has essentially given up. He is waving the white flag saying, Mr. President, send in the United States Army. Holy shit, man. This isn't a movie, folks. I never in my entire life thought we would be living what we're living through right now. But again, thank God you're here at Top Gun Options. Instead of sitting in the corner in the fetal position, sucking our thumb or running the Publix right now, we're printing money. At the Open tomorrow, I'm doing cocktail party math. What was it? Friday, we were like at 2 million-ish dollars in the past month on trades that I've covered live. That's probably going to be $4 to $6 million tomorrow. Again, I take no pleasure in other people's pain, sadness, blowing out their portfolios, dying. Christ almighty, folks, the old folks' homes in Boca, you can't go see your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother. They're walling off the old from people. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I agree with Dr. Fauci. We need to close this country for 2 weeks, period. Everything. So, and I'm going to talk about this in my live trade briefs tomorrow, the market, Secretary Mnuchin has said we will keep markets open, markets open, markets open. They're going to say that until when? They close them. I must have an old copy of the Constitution here, but they close markets, man. You think that's going to cause, the in a lot of dusty books or laws, the president's got some pretty broad powers under disease type shit like this, man. So, I think this week, I think the New York Stock Exchange will close the floor. I don't think you'll see any dudes on there. I mean, hell, CNBC reporters are already like sitting at home reporting. I am going to take a little victory lap on this. I told Top Gun Options members last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I said it several times since then. I said, folks, I'm making another career call. Folks, we are in a recession. We're in one right now. Usually recessions are what? You're told you were in one for a while, meaning it's leftward facing on the chart. They declare it like in October of whenever we entered a recession. I'm telling you, we're in one right now. We are in a crash recession. You have no idea how bad this is going to get and no idea how bad the economy is going to get. But I'm glad that Goldman Sachs is either a Top Gun Options member or is here under a fake name. Goldman took out the chainsaw tonight and cut the U.S. Q2 GDP to negative 5%, says recession has begun. I told you this 2 weeks ago. So thank you, Goldman Sachs, for being a member here. I'm going to increase my rates for you. I already said this. Look at that, folks. Holy crap. The last time we saw it that low was when? The financial crisis. I'm not going to end on a low note, but I will always give you respectful truth over artificial harmony. I'm not going to blow smoke anywhere. This is going to get much, much worse. This hasn't started. Italy's got 60 million people. They had 380. Let me round up, please. 400 people died today in Italy. 60 million people. We're 5 times bigger than Italy. Do the math. They got a lot of old people whiz, and they all hug and kiss. They're locked down. Newt Gingrich had a great article. He's like, we need to do everything they're doing right now immediately before it's too late. And he's right. He is absolutely right. So how about this? My sister told me banks in the Hamptons, a lot of rich people in the Hamptons, people are running on banks right now, like cleaning out banks. One of the reasons the Fed is intervening too, do you remember at the height of the financial crisis in 2008, the whole breaking, the money market funds? Money market funds are supposed to be insured, and they will, if they're $1, they're minimum of $1. Remember when we busted the dollar in 2008, whenever it was, for briefly, and the government had to step? That's kind of what's going on right now, is people think that they're safe in money market funds. But when you read page 192 of your safe money market funds, it ain't safe. So I think some of these rich people making a run on banks, there's a canary in the coal mine for you, is when the uber rich start panicking and pulling their money out. How about the president today? Don't hoard, stop going shopping and stuff like this. 368 in Italy, dead in a day. Do the math, folks, and what's coming here. I'm not a doomer and gloomer. I am a truth. I've told you the truth about everything. I got contacts in the Pentagon, in London, New York, Chicago, Hong Kong. Got buddies on Capitol Hill. got a lot of friends around the world that are feeding me information and telling me I'm on track. And actually, it's where, I mean, folks, the CDC's worst, obviously there's best case scenarios with the CDC, and then there's a worst case. In situations like this, that's what I wanted to say. I am going to take a victory lap. At the beginning of this entire thing, what did I say? I said, you know what? When people, don't panic, or, you don't want to overreact. I said, you know what? You're wrong. In a situation like this, like a pandemic, it is absolutely better to overreact early instead of underreact. Because if you underreact now, it's going to cause a massive overreaction later. And I was right. I called bullshit, and all these assholes on social media that I haven't heard from recently, and I actually saw a couple of them had become members. Oh, you're trying to I'm like, who's panicking, folks? I was at the beach today. I was doing some reading. I mean, I was on the phone most of the time, but who's panicking? Actually, the people that are panicking are the people that were saying I was trying to cause a panic, and now their 401ks are at zero. Can't help you, man. Okay, and as of midnight tonight, here's another official, and we're closed. I'm done. Even with full throttle max annual people, we're done. The only thing you can get in right now is this elite group me, whatever, my afterburner trading group on my phone. Those you want to pay to get in there, you're welcome. Other than that, we're closing tonight at midnight. Unless you've talked to support, like, hey, can I get in tomorrow type of thing, we're done at midnight tonight. I don't even want new annual, folks. There's too many people. And I'm not going to say I told you so and it's too late, but I'm not going to let the quality at Top Gun Options suffer in my live trade briefs going forward with 1,000 people in there. You should have listened to me the first time. So tonight at midnight, we're done. You need to, if you probably already have the link, but go.topgunoptions.com/ what's it, FT-order. This is your last chance. I'm not going to put this link out again. Tonight at midnight, we're gonna close the doors. We have to go to battle with the group we got. I told you when my buy signals were. I told you during the brief on Friday. I told you yesterday. Remember, folks, if you're sitting here going, crap, man, I missed this. You didn't. We're going to go lower. I think the government's going to close the stock market. We're going to have a federal quarantine for 2 weeks, and then the market's going to reopen. I told you what my buy signals are and when I'm going to buy everything that I have pounded the hell out of with both hands. So you didn't miss anything. Matter of fact, we're getting ready to get prime. So that's the positive. Here's the high note I'm going to end on. This is going to be fantastic. We will get through this. Last Sunday, when I was in Fairhope, Alabama, with Forrest Gump. No, I was flying, folks. But I went and watched the Face the Nation with Dr. Gottlieb. He said the next 2 weeks, which means this is week 1. It was last Sunday. He said these words. He said, the next 2 weeks will change the complexion of this country. Man, he nailed the first week, didn't he? NBA, NHL, St. Patrick's Day, Apple closing, Nike closing, boom, international travel bans. So we got 1 more week to go. He said the next 2 weeks, the complexion of our country will change. And then he said, it will be difficult. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse, but we'll get through it, and it'll take about 2 months. And I believe that. I'm not panicking. You won't see me panic, folks. I'll have my AR-15s, my gold, my family. I'll be up in the mountains somewhere. You're never going to see me panic. But that's not going to happen. It's going to get worse. A lot of people are going to die. This is our next 9/11. 9/11 was a defined moment. Attack. Are there any more? Okay, no. And then we rebuilt from it. This is like a slow crash going down a runway, but eventually it's going to end, and we're going to go get in a new airplane, and we're going to get airborne and pull back on the stick. And I couldn't be more excited for the folks that are getting on board now or have. Okay, like I said, I might. We're back. We're going back to 1 video a day, and Aspen closed too. All the ski, everything's closed. Everything's closing. Hell, the clubs in Miami are closing. Hard Rock Casino, everything's closing, folks. And this is what needs to happen. So the economy is going to come to a standstill. The stock market's going to implode. Limit down, limit down, limit down. I think they're going to close the stock markets, and then we'll get through this. But if you've been here and you're ready to go, man, this is going to be freaking fantastic. I'm going to try and buy more stuff bearish at the open. I'm probably going to have to hit the ask. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. But I have enough bearish positions on right now where I'm just going to sit here with my popcorn and watch as the counter on the dollar signs goes higher. All right, I got to go. it's enough. I'm done for the night. I'm getting a good sleep. I'm going to be up early tomorrow. Going to see how Asia opens and Europe and all sorts of stuff. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great week, but we're going to get through this and we'll do it together. All right. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.